Hey everybody, how's it going? So you think you have a blown head gasket but you're not sure. Or maybe you're going to go buy a car and that's one of the things you want to check for. In this video, I'm going to go over all the signs that you may have a check engine light and the simple checks you can do to confirm or deny that you have a blown head gasket in your vehicle. First off, the first signs you're going to notice, you may have a check engine light, and your check engine light could be for a single cylinder misfire or multiple cylinder misfires. This could be caused from coolant getting into your cylinder, causing a misfire. Another sign is overheating. Another dead giveaway. It's something that you'll see just when driving it. You have overheating problems, you could have a blown head gasket. Another is rough idle on startup in the morning or on first startup after it's been sitting for a period of time. This is caused from there being pressure inside the cooling system forcing water into the cylinders, causing it to start rough until it burns off the water inside the cylinders. Another one is going to be your heater possibly could not be working. This is because it's used up all its coolant, it's burning out the tailpipe, or it's going somewhere inside the engine that's not supposed to be, and it's causing your heater core to be starved from coolant. Also, it will cause air pockets because the engine is forcing combustion gases inside your cooling system, causing air pockets, which would cause your heater to not work. Okay, next are dead giveaways. One of the dead giveaways is you're constantly having to top off your coolant and there's no external leak that you can see and no drips or puddles in your driveway. The second dead giveaway is a milky oil. You go to pull your dipstick and the oil that's on there is real thick and looks like a milkshake. You've got a blown head gasket or a cracked block. In worst case scenario, odds are blown head gasket. Okay, so your car has one or multiple of the signs that it may have a blown head gasket. What are some checks in the engine compartment that you can do to maybe give you a little better idea that yes, you need to do a test to see if you have a blown head gasket? Number one is when the engine is cold, you should have no pressure in your radiator hoses. Obviously the cap would be on. You'll have no pressure in your radiator hoses. What you would do is then you would start your engine up with it cold, everything's sealed up, cap on, everything's good. You've already gone over the engine looking for leaks, anything external, something like this, but maybe in worse condition. You want to go ahead and check over heater lines in the back to make sure you don't have any leaks back there. Sometimes there's coolant lines that go to the intake to help cool it down. You want to make sure that you have no external leaks first of all. Once you've done that, you're going to go ahead and start the engine with it cold, and you're going to let it run for, 2 to 5 minutes or so. In that 2 to 5 minutes, the engine's not really going to get that hot. You're going to notice in that 2 to 5 minutes that your hoses are either still pretty soft or they've become really, really firm. If they're very firm, the odds that you have a head gasket blown are pretty high. Reason being is the reason they're that firm so fast is because you have combustion gases getting into your cooling system through a blown head gasket. So that's one of the signs that you have a blown head gasket. The other thing is an overflowing tank here. Your overflow tank, if it starts pushing out coolant, it's because there's so much combustion gases coming into your cooling system that it's forcing it through the radiator cap, through the hose, and out your reservoir, your overflow reservoir. So if you find that your vehicle has one of those problems, you want to continue on to do a block test. All right, so now that you've checked and you've maybe confirmed that you have pressure building in the hoses, what is going to be your final test to stick the nail in this coffin of a blown head gasket? That final test is going to be a block test. What we're going to do is we're going to be using this fluid, which is activated by carbon dioxide to change colors. If there's carbon dioxide inside your cooling system, that means that you're getting exhaust into your cooling system. There should not be any exhaust in your cooling system whatsoever. So this kit is pretty straightforward. It has instructions included in it to tell you how to do it, but it's always better to have a visual aid, so that's why I'm making this video. It's pretty simple. It has a fluid level line. You fill with the provided fluid to the line. You then put it on top of your radiator cap. You take your radiator cap off, and you put this on. and you allow it to run with this on it. So I'm going to go ahead and get this all set up, and we'll be right back. Okay, our final test with the block test needs to be performed with the engine at running temperature, and the thermostat needs to be open, so it needs to be running for a little while. When you do so, you also need to get it to running temperature, and then you need to lower the coolant level. The coolant needs to be 2 to 3 inches below the top of the neck. So this one, it should be all the way down to the fins. You can't really see it, but once you get working on one, you'll kind of get an idea of what's going on. So once you get the fluid level down, engine running at running temperature, you're going to go ahead and place your tester onto the filler neck. And then you could add the fluid then, or you can pre-add the fluid like I did now. You want to take note of the fluid color. If it is anything other than blue, you need to discard the fluid and get new fluid. If at any point in time during this test coolant enters this chamber, you need to discard the fluid, rinse the container with cool water, and start over. At the point that you get coolant in there, you need to lower your coolant level even a little bit more. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to get this car running. We're going to get it to running temperature, and we're going to go ahead and try to perform this test and see if we have a blown head gasket on this vehicle. If you know anything about a Toyota 3.0 liter, you know that they are known for blown head gaskets. Alright, engine's to running temperature. The thermostat has opened up. You can confirm so by feeling your upper hose, and if you can get to it when it's running the lower hose. This vehicle is a little hard to get to from the top, but you can reach it from the bottom. Can't really see very well there, but you'd feel them. They would be very similar in temperature. If the thermostat hasn't opened yet, there's going to be a very big temperature difference. As long as the temperature on each hose is close to the same temperature, you can continue with this test. At which point you're going to squeeze this bulb for 1 minute. If at any point in time during that test that you get coolant in here, you need to start over. If the fluid changes to a yellow color, you have combustion gases inside your cooling system, meaning you have a blown head gasket. This vehicle does not have a blown head gasket. This is my daily driver, and it has just recently been replaced not that long ago, so it is all good. This is just for purposes of showing you. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to force combustion gases into this fluid so that I can get this fluid to the color that you would see on a vehicle with a blown head gasket. Okay, so you've performed the test, and that's what your fluid ends up looking like. You now know for sure that you have a blown head gasket. You can see the color differences. This is what it starts out. This is good fluid that has no carbon monoxide in it. And there's fluid that is bad that has carbon monoxide in it. And that's that, everybody. That's the simple tests and checks you can do to make sure you have a blown head gasket, or make sure that you don't have a blown head gasket. Thanks for watching.